You're watching BCTV. We're all about Brantford. You're watching BCTV, Brantford Government Television, a service of Brantford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Brantford.
All right, welcome everyone, and welcome to the November 16th, 2023.
Forgot about it.
Board of Fire Commissioners meeting. Time right now is 5:06. Call to order. Approval of the minutes, if appropriate, to approve the minutes of August 24th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. On personnel, as you see in the chief's report here, that he has, what did you have, chief, on the personnel here, right? We still have 2 firefighters out on long-term sick injury leave. And we have 11 new EMTs in the process of onboarding. 3 have been cleared to work on their own. So the other 8, chief, do we have an idea when they're?
Soon. I would expect in the next week or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good news.
They're all right on the edge.
Yep.
Yep.
Finance, Commissioner Riggio.
We do not have any transfers, so I really have nothing else to report. I mean, we do have a couple highlights, but I mean, Dave's gonna do that in apparatus. That's basically it.
Sounds good.
Training, Commissioner Clem. Commissioner Clem is out still. And just to go over, you see we had the machinery and rescue that was funded by the FEMA. Chief, you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, it's an ongoing class, so we received almost $423,000 FEMA grant to bring all of our personnel up to the standard for vehicle and machinery rescue at the technician level, as well as confined space, rope rescue, and trench. And this is the beginning of it. Is the first classes are running concurrently, which is the vehicle and machinery. The third one will be held in the spring, and then the others to follow. So it'll actually end up being spread over 2 budget years because we have a 10% match, which is good.
And this was through a grant, correct?
This is
Yep.
yeah. It's so the grant, the money we're actually receiving is $422,000 and change.
Right.
And then we have to match 10%, which is
40,000, yeah.
which we have. We're just going to have to move it from our budget into the special revenue account at some point through the year.
Okay. Apparatus, Commissioner Coy. I know you're busy here.
So the short report is that all DOT inspections are presently underway. And in the interest of everyone's time, the maintenance that's being done, in the list of maintenance that's being done in progress and completed is quite large. And it's really all over the place. I don't see anything that's hugely expensive like an engine or a transmission or a pump like that, but things like Marine 5 under yearly preventive maintenance, annual NFPA pump tests, which I just remembered. But I guess the point I would want to make to the public is that because of this aging fleet, with a good portion of it close to 18 years old, there are things like fluid leaks, light bulbs, and so while these all sound minor, the number of them is quite extensive, spread out across all the apparatus. And it's not just a matter of money, although it is a matter of money when it adds all up. It's a matter of time and pieces that may be out of service as a result of it, depending upon what that is. And so I'll spare everyone that, but I'll tell you that it's ongoing, and this really makes a very, very strong point for having it done in-house, because not only do we save money, we're able to turn it around faster and keep pieces in service.
Good. The truck one's still out?
Yes.
Was that expected back?
We had thought it was coming back today, but through another code.
Yeah.
Brian will address it under his report.
Okay. Beautiful. EMS Commissioner Fox is not able to make it tonight, but you can see our ambulance revenue is just under $1 million year to date. That's since July 1st. for now, and that's through, that'd be what, November 1st, technically?
Yeah, well, the number as of today, that's in
Yeah,
our bank
okay, number
account
is today,
yeah.
okay. And you can see our transports ratio is 71% to 14 non-transport, so,
We're not even halfway through the year.
no, only 4 months.
Wow.
Right, 5 months, 4. So, I think we went to the meeting, the Board of Finance for a presentation, and we saw that we were up 7%, our call volume was from that exact day we went to that meeting on October, the date it was, a year ago, so.
So I wrote the report, my previous chief's report, our average call was averaging at 18.4 a day. We're up to, what did I say here, 18.8. So it doesn't, it's only 0.4 on average, but we're doing days where we're regularly doing over 20 calls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So that all sort of relates back to apparatus, because we're so busy and vehicles are being used so frequently. Everyone has a car and a car problem. Well, we have big trucks and truck problems, and keeping them all maintained so that we can deliver the service that we deliver is quite expensive.
Yeah, and I know that the public's well aware of the environment we're living in right now, where inflation has affected pretty much everything across the board.
Yep.
And, we're not immune to that. So, for instance, new apparatus is well over 30% in the last 3 to 4 years. It's almost doubled in some instances. And the same thing goes for parts.
Right.
So, parts are up, and of course, labor costs are high. When we outsource, it's, in the average of 160 per hour. And then, the supply chain issues affect parts. So sometimes things are down for
Yep.
long periods of time, not simply because we can't get what we're waiting for. So we have tried to get ahead of it, as you guys remember. We ordered the new engine one a little bit earlier, but we won't expect delivery until 2025. And then again, same thing with we have a brand new ambulance on order. And just before the meeting, I got a call from our vendor for the remount. The vendor down in Florida where we'll be sending it has a cabin chassis available, which will speed things up significantly for us, which is great. So, but it's a waiting game. Things that used to take 6 months are taking a year and a half.
So have you talked to Jim about maybe even putting another order in for a truck?
I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to have to ask to accelerate the process.
Well, it's not even accelerating in the sense that
Yeah,
It just takes
by
so long to
ordering
get
it,
'em.
it'll actually get here on
3
time.
years.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
So I do think it's was my goal to ask for the money to get an engine. Again, now we're not putting names on them anymore.
Yeah.
It's pretty much replacing the frontline engine. Everything else will move back. So that's where we are with it.
Now, if we put 30% on top of the 835, what are we paying, 8?
For the
The new one,
engine one, it was
865?
$899.
Okay, so it's 900,000. Are we over $1 million for a pumper?
Charlie just told me he's over $1 million.
Hate to buy a ladder truck.
$2
Yeah.
million.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing.
For a lap, wow.
Paid $350 for the Suffin in 1987 when we bought it. Yeah. Okay. All good news. Buildings, Commissioner Warren?
I got nothing.
Okay. I do want to talk about 2 things. One is Station 9, the plaque's been installed, the dedication plaque on the building, the building committee plaque, and dedicated to Chief Peter Mullen. So that's up there.
And
That's good.
I would like to thank Stony Creek again
Yeah.
for their generous donation of the materials.
Stony Creek Quarry, yeah.
Shelley Brothers did a nice job engraving it, and of course our own Commissioner Riccio grouted it in, and Massey's Glass was the cut out the spot and mounted it. So it was
Did it
a
all
team
by
effort,
himself.
and
We got it all done.
community effort where
Yeah.
we people pitch in and try to help
Yeah.
us wherever we can.
That's
And it's
good.
greatly
Yeah.
appreciated.
Came out good. I do want to bring up something about Station 9 too. Over the past weekend, a resident in the neighborhood, the district of Indian Neck, left a pretty irate phone message on the chief's phone regarding the trees that were at the package store. So our first responders pull into Station 9. all parked there. The limbs from the oak trees were falling down onto our driveway. And it wasn't about hitting cars, it was about hitting first responders. Okay, I nearly got hit by one, I can use that. Past captain almost did, and some other volunteers did, and some of our career staff. So everybody was parking there, so the chief happened to be there that day, and he called the tree warden to have them come assess it. And they sent a letter to the property owner stating that either to trim it back, because it's on private property, or, bring in your own professional and take a look at it, which they opted to do. And on September 30th, the owner of the property removed 3 trees in total off the property. Nothing to do with the Branford Fire Department. But this fire department, and I'm not gonna use anybody, we were called selfish and we were called stupid twice, which really isn't nice to be doing. They should get their facts, but that's why I wanna bring it here and be transparent that the fire department had nothing to do. That was a dangerous situation, and that was private property. That was up to the building, that property owner to do that, not up to the town of Branford.
Right, and it should really be noted that the complainant greatly mischaracterized the condition of the trees. They were not healthy oak trees. They were quite distressed. They had multiple dead limbs, not branches, all of which were quite capable of coming down and causing either damage or hurting someone. And again, we asked that it be evaluated by an expert, and clearly was the expert's opinion to the property owner that they should probably remove them, which they did. It was entirely their decision, but to characterize us as selfish and stupid, I think, is a reflection on the complainant and not on us.
Absolutely.
It just seems to come break into cars now, while our men and ladies are sleeping, and now we're being left voicemails here by the public. It's just not right. It's just
No.
really rude and inconsiderate. So, and it's not everybody, but I think the public needs to know that we're not in the tree business.
Well, the biggest thing is the misinformation that gets out there that, this was us and we did this and we did that, and that they were perfectly healthy and going to last another 100 years, which was factually incorrect.
Yep. Okay, pensions and communications, Commissioner Clem is absent. Anything on that, Chief? I know we had a report the other night at the Board of Finance that, the names.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Pensions. Communications.
Yep, nothing new. I believe there was one other, I think our own captain, retired Captain Mullen is
Yeah, he's the first one.
starting to collect,
Yeah,
so
collect. Yep.
that's good.
Okay. Chief's report, Chief.
Okay, so we've responded to 2,616 calls since July 1st, averaging 18.8 a day. Presently, Tuesday's our busiest day, with 12 o'clock being our busiest hour. We had the major fire down on Totucket Road, which we made a quick knockdown of that and was under control within 20 minutes, but it was an all-hands fire. We've had several motor vehicle accidents recently requiring extrication. We had the car into the Staples building the other night, which actually landed on the gas line, and there was an active leak on the exterior of the building. The building was evacuated as a precaution. So those are some highlights of some of the more major incidents. But on a daily basis, like I said, we're doing anywhere from 18 to 20 something calls a day, from CO alarms to public assist to a lot of other minor things, and of course the great majority of which are emergency medical calls. We have a new RTM. Several members have already reached out. Of course, I sent the RTM leaders the invitation to come and learn more about what is the largest department outside of the Board of Education in terms of the amount of people and buildings and apparatus. We are in need of some staffing and future infrastructure. So the plan was presented to the Board of Finance, I always invite members to come and learn more about us. So a couple of them have reached out already, and it's appreciated. And of course, October was Fire Prevention Month. We were out in force, volunteers, career staff, doing various events from trunk or treat to deliveries in the schools to all kinds of everything. Fire prevention for us is really an ongoing thing, but October's the month that we focus, and they did a nice job. Other than that, I just would like to mention under training, if I could go back, that we did complete the swim in small boat training, rescue training, or marine community. All of our career staff went through the training that started in the Walsh Pool and ended in Long Island Sound. And our own Heather Adams from Stony Creek Company 5 has she actually went to, her degree is in, marine environment rescue and instruction. And she contributed her time to what I thought was a very successful and well-received program. So we thank Heather for that.
Great.
And everybody else involved.
Yep.
It was a team effort, but it was led by Heather. And that's the chief's report. I do have one other thing that I'll ask you to have to add to your agenda. I'm going to let Brian do his report first, but as part of that, we did invite OSHA in to conduct a voluntary compliance review. It's their target this year was fire departments. When you do a voluntary, it's they'll come in and you still have to take care of any issues. But we had a few, but nothing out of control. But one of them was we needed an organizational statement, and basically that says what we're going to do, how many people we expect to do it, and then how they're going to be trained, etc. And also the the legal existence of the fire department. So you'll see that the act creating the Board of Fire Commissioners in there.
Where's the cake? We forgot all about that. In March, we're 100 years old. I forgot.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
March 6th, 1923.
So this just outlines what services we're going to provide, how we're going to provide them, and all of at which level we're going to do that, and then the training that we're going to provide. So I'm sure Brian will expand on that, but that's the general gist of this document that will, once approved, become part of our policies. And then the other thing is I send everybody the annual report. So if you just want to vote to approve the annual report as well.
Put that down. All right. Very good. Assistant Chief.
Yeah, just two things, and we did touch on a number of them already. Just with the apparatus, I wanted to highlight the fact that we had a couple of people who stepped up when firefighter Giroli retired, which has really made this whole program not miss a beat. Firefighter Hart and firefighter Gian Terrace both have put a lot of work into the program. Firefighter Hart is doing all the apparatus, and firefighter Gian Terrace is doing the marine units. So so kudos to them for making the process go smoothly. As we kind of discussed right now, the outside vendor costs are up for repairs right now for the two reasons of the aging fleet, and then also firefighter Giroli was trained to a higher level at the moment, and firefighter Hart's not quite there yet, and we're figuring out long term. So there's some items that he can't work on just simply because he's not trained to that level yet. So it does really highlight the value of having that person in-house trained to what the commissioner said, also regarding the turnaround time. So we've had truck one out of service for a couple weeks now. While it's gotten a laundry list of things that have come up, most of it due to the age. So that that bill is going to be a hefty bill once it's back, and which we're expecting early next week. Right now they're just trying to chase down one more code that's popping up, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with that. So yeah, that's that. And then I've been working on the OSHA consultation visit, like the chief said. They have been popping into fire stations all around now, so we decided to invite them in as part of their consultation process. So instead of getting fines during a surprise visit, we're actually they're walking along with us, and we're being a little more proactive with that. So their first visit, they'll do multiple visits over the course of the next year. Their first visit focused on looking at our training program and training records, our respiratory protection program, and what you're looking at tonight is the organizational statement. So they kind of take that organizational statement, and that's how they evaluate the training, to make sure that we're training to what we say that we're going to respond to and do. So, and as the chief said, there was nothing very glaring. The respiratory protection program, We have all the pieces of it throughout our SOPs, but they want to see it in one program. So we're just reformatting it into one program. And then the training, is all mostly record keeping, and Deputy Chief Kuzma's working on that to make sure that how we present our data is a reflection of what we do, so that we can meet all the check boxes there. So we've gotten a list of the things that we're to work on, and that's due December 18th, I believe, and then right after the new year, they'll come in and do another visit for the next bunch of items, the next subjects. So that's going well, and I think in the end, it overall shows our willingness to come in and say, hey, what's wrong with our department? How can we make it better? And see where we're at and make those improvements to keep our people safer. So
Good.
Yeah.
Good job. That's it? Okay. Old business? Anything on old? Okay. New business?
I'll make a motion, we put this on the agenda.
Yep.
Needs to be put on the agenda.
Good at it, yeah.
Yeah, we also have to put the annual report, but we'll do that after. Get that sent out. So we have a motion to put the, on the agenda for the approval for the policy number 23-003, organizational statement.
So
We
moved.
have a motion second. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And we also need to put on for the annual report, which is the 23 annual report. Same thing, need a motion
Motion.
to put that on the agenda?
Yep, so moved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have a motion to approve policy number 23003, the organizational statement presented by the chief's office.
Make a motion, we approve?
Second.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody? Okay. And last but not least, the annual report, which everyone did get a copy of electronically.
Yep.
So we could submit that in.
That was a nice job.
Saying that.
Yes.
If we could have a motion to approve that.
Sure, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. I don't think there's anything else to talk about, right?
That's it.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
You know what I meant to ask,
Motion to- oh.
under new business, I don't know if it, relating to the vehicles that got broken into, is there any way we can get a camera that the PD can watch?
So I'm actually, I have a meeting coming up with a local vendor in town who, it's Nationwide Security Services. They're out on Route 139. They're not currently our security and camera vendor. However, our current infrastructure here at the fire department is almost original, right? So we're over 12 years old. Technology's changed. They actually have a camera that is intelligent enough to be able to watch what's going on and say, hey, something doesn't look right, and make those notifications. So we'll learn more about it when we meet with them, and then obviously we'll have to see, about pricing and whatnot. But we need to do something to protect our people because, again, a lot of times, we're out, So if something could be seen, even if it just turns the camera on at dispatch and they say, hey, that doesn't look right, and alerts a patrol officer.
5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like people were sleeping. Yeah. Anything else? Take a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Meeting adjourned.
Yep.
Thank you.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Brantford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BrantfordTV.org.